To thank Mr. Hodge for that. And by the way, if you're going to enforce rules of decorum, why didn't you enforce them on him when he interrupted? Our job here at this podium, if we wish to criticize you under the First Amendment, which you took an oath to, you took an oath to the Constitution, you're going to be administering your oath again tonight, I'm sure.
Hi, how's it going? We haven't met yet. I'm really kind of friendly. I'm not always an asshole, but sometimes I can be. And, I apologize. I don't know what the rules of decorum are.
They have the ability to respond. They have the ability to respond to matter-of-fact questions, Ms. Attorney.
This is your
They don't have
ability
to,
ask the
but they have the
council
ability.
and to speak to council.
We're speaking to the council.
And you preach the First Amendment when you get up here and preach and pray? You're a hypocrite. He's a city administrator. He's not a city manager. The chief of police reports to you. You're his boss. Or did you forget to read the job description when you got elected? Because it seems like you did. Don't you dare say anything, Mr. Hodge. I hear you fixing to say something. You're getting pissed off at me, and you know what? Sit there and, nope, don't say nothing. Rules of decorum. I will call you out for point of order. Let's see, Cohen versus California. That's about protected speech. You need to learn that, because fuck you, Pro Tem. Thank you.
BZ Watchdog News Network.
Welcome back to the channel, Watchdogs. Buckle up, because today's video is going to be an absolute circus show. Before we get started, smash that like button, share this video everywhere, and subscribe to the channel, because apparently in some small town government buildings, the First Amendment is treated more like a suggestion than a constitutional right. So why did we go to the Italy City Council meeting? Because we received reports that protected speech was being suppressed and that a citizen journalist and activist had been trespassed and arrested not once, but twice, following incidents involving speech and government criticism. So naturally, we decided to go down there ourselves. We wanted to see exactly what the problem was, ask some questions, and give the First Amendment, a little stress test inside an open public city council meeting. And let's just say, we were welcomed by a lot of people. Most of them were good people. Some of them, however, appeared to be auditioning for a government position in North Korea or Communist China, because apparently hearing speech they do not like causes some people to completely forget what country they live in. This is the United States of America. You do not get to silence people just because their words hurt your feelings. You do not get to weaponize government authority against critics. And you certainly do not get to turn a public meeting into your own little government-controlled safe space where only approved opinions are allowed. There was a ton of footage from this meeting, so today I'm going to show you some of the biggest highlights featuring Otto the Watchdog, myself, BZ, Ron Helms, and HBO Matt. And a huge shout out to Friends in Code for running tech support and helping keep the equipment going while the rest of us were busy dealing with the circus. So grab your popcorn, keep your Constitution handy, and prepare yourself for hurt feelings, government officials getting uncomfortable, and the First Amendment being exercised exactly the way it was intended. Welcome to the Italy City Council circus. Let's get into it.
Stand up, Texas tonight. Otto the Watchdog.
Yay! Hi, I'm Otto, and we are the Watchdogs. I'm here today in Italy, Texas, because shit is fucked up. Oh, because of things. Whee! So I'm here because tonight they're having a council meeting. They're having a council meeting to appoint former Detective Nelson to Chief of Police. Isn't that fantastic? Congratulations, Detective Nelson, on your promotion. And an officer getting a promotion is always a good thing, right? Thank you! Whee! And it is a good thing because Detective Nelson was such a good police officer that he got at least 3 people arrested. Yay! 3 people arrested at a council meeting in this building behind me. Isn't that fantastic? He's such a good detective. They're going to give him a promotion. Fuck the police. And and now you're probably saying, well, Otto, they surely broke the law, and that's why they were arrested, and that's why they're giving this guy a promotion because he's such a good police officer. Well, actually, what had happened was, I actually have 2 of the people that was arrested right here behind me. There was comments being made that, was it the mayor? Was it? I'll ask him later. That somebody didn't like, and you'd think that they got arrested right then. No, they didn't. They got arrested several days later for trespassing. They got arrested for criminal trespassing in the city hall. Isn't that funny? It's so funny. And Nelson was the detective. So now here we are, just a few months later, and now he's being promoted. And we're going to be here for the council meeting tonight where they do that promotion. Also, as I was reading the agenda, I noticed that there are 2 items for discussion and approval. Thank you. Oh, that's so good. Can I ask you a couple of questions real quick?
Sure, what's up, man?
So this is Ron.
What's the camera? Are we live over here?
It's right over there.
There we go. Nice to meet you, everybody. Saw before.
So this is Ron, and he was one of the 3 people.
Yeah, one of 3 that got arrested for criminal trespass here in Italy City Hall. We were never told that we were being trespassed that day. The cops showed up because a council member, there was an incident where a council member grabbed a camera and a police response was basically requested. We waited around until an officer showed up. Officer took statements. Trespassing word was never used. Everyone went home. 3 weeks later, I'm in jail for criminal trespass. $3,000 bond.
Fantastic. Isn't that good? $3,000 bond?
$3,000 recommended bond, and then I was arraigned by actually the municipal judge, and he knocked it down to $500.
Oh, good. So the judge isn't a complete fucking moron.
The municipal judge here, no, is actually very, in my opinion, a respectable man. He's not. I think that they. My opinion is they shopped around because he wouldn't sign it. So.
Okay. Well, we're going to talk to you about that. Well, I kind of caught you right in the middle of a bunch of stuff, so yeah. I don't want to slow you down or anything. I got an extra sign if you want one.
Oh, sure, yeah.
Oh, sure. Hey, you can pick yours. So I've got this one that says that the judge is okay, but everybody else is a stupid piece of shit.
Are you sure that fits? I think it signs a little.
Well, I mean, you have to. You do it this way if you wanted to.
Yeah, I think it fits.
Yeah, if that's what you wanted it to say.
Perfect.
And also, I love Nelson so much that he deserves this promotion because he might be a stupid motherfucker, but he is now chief stupid motherfucker.
Hey,
It's what it says right there. Another one.
Check this out.
They're all laughing about it.
Well, I know the animal control officer there, Andrew Youngblood.
Where's he going?
Run your plates.
Run them. I don't give a shit. My
Probably.
address is public.
Hey, you're gonna get you got a pig parking by the bus? Yay!
Oh, maybe that's just where he normally parks.
Nah, he did a beeline when he pulled in over there.
Yeah.
Excuse me, officer. I believe there to be a bunch of criminals in that building. You can tell because they're on the other side of the glass. I'm gonna have to kill this smoke.
Yeah, your
Yay.
bad mayor sign fell over.
They did. Hey, Officer, are you here to arrest all the criminals in there? Oh, okay. You can tell which ones they are because they're on the other side of the glass. Grab that with you, sir?
Let me go fix that sign.
I'm gonna follow.
Are you gonna go grab it too? I was gonna grab it.
Yeah, oh, if you'll grab that, I got it.
Yep.
Wait, want me to get the door for you? Are you sure? I'll get the door for you.
For officer safety, let's open it up for you.
You're not scared because I'm following you? Okay, cool. That was for you, Matt.
1 minute now. 1 minute.
They were so afraid because you were following them around. I love how Brandon was like, well, you follow people around. Yeah.
He whacked Middleton at the end.
Yeah, he did.
He probably feared for his life, but he just walked up to the car.
No, I think I'm gonna actually hold this sign.
I don't know what you're saying, but thank you. Oh.
Well, then tell him to stay at home and homeschool.
Kids can read.
You know what I told him the first time? Then homeschool him. Keep him at
I
home.
didn't teach him how to read. That's on you, buddy.
No shit.
So I said, keep him at home. Homeschool him. If you don't want him to see these words, which they're probably already saying anyways.
Oh, they're definitely saying worse. They're saying worse.
Did he just flip us off?
I don't know.
I think he flipped us off.
Hi, Senior Counsel, Chief. So I noticed that there's a couple items on the agenda for repairs. One of them is $43,000. It's item L and J. So it's $45,000 for one and $43,000 for the other. And that's just suspicious to me because I know that there's a $50,000 limit. If anything is over $50,000, you have to have open bidding. So if it's under that, it's kind of weird. And also one of these is, it gives a perception that you might just be accepting a bid from one of your buddies. You know, I don't know if that's the case or not, but you know, that's a thing. And one of them is for improved security in that room over there. It's, how much is that? $45,000 for improved security. That's a lot of money for improved security. So, and also your sign is outdated and illegal, but we've already discussed that earlier. Somebody dropped off a packet. Item, what is it, L? Is that the one? No. J? No. H? Item H. You're gonna administer the oath of office to the chief. That's you, right? Hi, how's it going? We haven't met yet. I'm really kind of friendly. I'm not always an asshole, but sometimes I can be. And I apologize. I don't know what the rules of decorum are. I didn't see any of those posted on the door. So I apologize. Just if you could let me know if I'm in violation of any of those. So you're going to become the chief. Congratulations on your promotion. I do happen to have a problem. I became aware recently that you wrote 3 warrants for some people who were speaking in this office or at this podium, and only one of them said anything, and then the other 2, but they were all trespassed from here. From what I understand, those charges are still pending. And in my opinion, any reasonable officer, certainly that's going to be a chief, would know better than to do that. You know what I mean? As a free speech guy myself, I sometimes say things that people don't like. Isn't that right, Mayor? Sometimes I say things that people don't like. You know what I mean? Especially when they're driving like maniacs in front of the city hall pulling in here. But, you know, I don't know anybody that would do something like that. So something so reckless, endangering the citizens. So I hope you guys consider these items carefully. And even though you're not required by state law to open these, J and L up to bidding, I think it'd still be a good thing just for transparency to make the citizens feel better that you're not enriching your buddies. You know, have some open bidding and stuff like that. Anyway, I'll yield back. Thank you. Congratulations.
Ron Helms.
Oh, sure.
Hi, good evening, council. My name is Ron Helms here, in actually dual capacity for Watchtower and myself. Came here to speak with the chief, and for the record, Keith Whitfield, and I'm speaking to the mic, so I'm handing over, even though you don't have yours, even though our taxpayer money paid $150 for that microphone. Where's it at?
This is your public comment to address the council,
That's a matter of fact question, attorney.
but they don't have to respond to questions. This is
They
your
have the
opportunity.
ability to respond. They have the ability to respond to matter of fact questions, Ms. Attorney.
This is your
They don't have
ability to
to,
ask the
but they have the
council
ability.
and to speak to council.
We're speaking to the council. And we're also speaking to the chief of police over here because he is a part of this governmental body, right? So I just have another matter of fact question, Mr. Mayor. Who does the chief of police report to?
To the Keith Whitfield.
Really? So your chief of police reports to Keith.
You can report to Keith and they can report to us.
So Keith is his boss.
You can report to
Who is his boss?
the council.
Okay. So you remember when you gave me this?
Mhm.
Yeah. For the record, this is a challenge coin, right? People usually give these to people out of respect. And you gave this to me, did you not? Okay. So I did this. And isn't it funny how I'm not being removed under threat of arrest for offending the room, right? You went from standing up for my rights to paying $3,000 for chief of police interviews to coming back and you getting the job after you I got an $8,000 bond for disruption of a meeting. When you allowed two other people to speak who didn't even sign up, right? I come up to invoke my right to speak. Mayor says that's not under threat of arrest. I get removed, and what happens 3 days later? You issue a warrant, $8,000 warrant for my arrest. I come in here and sit in the meeting in front of your officers, and they're too pussy to serve the warrant, right? I find out about the warrant myself, not from anybody here, but from someone that has nothing to fuck to do with Ellis County. But what did y'all do? You spent $2,500 investigating one of your officers because you thought that officer told me about my warrant. You can shut the fuck up and give me my time, okay?
That's a warning.
That's not a warning because it's
Well,
my
that's a
my right to speak.
That-
Can I reclaim my time? Can you please be quiet so I can speak, Mr. Hodge? Because the
You
last
have
time I gave you a little bit,
20
you jumped over the podium and
25
almost got me out of here.
seconds.
I'm speaking to the council.
20.
You're interrupting my time, so can I please get my time back?
No.
Why not? Because you're literally interrupting and speaking over my time. I feel like I've lost like 30 seconds of my speech because of you, and him, and him, and her. So can I get 30 seconds back, or am I just gonna sit here and burn my time? All right, well, for the record, I have the right to speak on every item, Mr. Keith Whitfield, and if you look at that paper, I signed up on every item. So
Time's
I will
up.
see you on the next time.
Let me know when my time starts. You guys have pretty much done it now. You got a lot of us that just showed up tonight. You got to thank Mr. Hodge for that. And by the way, if you're going to enforce rules of decorum, why didn't you enforce them on him when he interrupted? That you just got a lawsuit right there. Ron Helms can file a lawsuit now just because you didn't enforce it on the viewpoint discrimination. Our job here at this podium, if we wish to criticize you under the First Amendment, which you took an oath to, you took an oath to the Constitution, you'll be administering your oath again tonight, I'm sure. That oath is not to you. You're a tyrant. You're a tyrant. The oath is not to you. The allegiance is not to you. It's to the United States Constitution and the Texas Constitution, which you guys just swore up here and pledged allegiance to the flags. So why are you acting like you're kings? You're not. You're not. You work for the people. Don't forget that. They elected you. They can remove you. In fact, we should go ahead and do a recall petition based on you just doing your rules of decorum violation right there. That's official misconduct. You could have been removed by the mayor, but he chose not to. And you preach the First Amendment when you get up here and preach and pray. You're a hypocrite. You're a very big hypocrite. You don't deserve to sit up there. You're a freaking tyrant. Now, I'm also running for county commissioner of Hill County. So if anybody respects the Constitution and that elected office more than anybody, it's me. You guys should at least have some sort of standards. You guys should respect the people for coming up here and running city business. He's a city administrator. He's not a city manager. The chief of police reports to you. You're his boss. Or did you forget to read the job description when you got elected? Because it seems like you did. Don't you dare say anything, Mr. Hodge. I hear you fixing to say something. You're getting pissed off at me, and you know what? Sit there and, don't say nothing. Rules of decorum. I will call you out for point of order. You know, you're a freaking tyrant. You really are. You having that man arrested for speech, and you interrupted him? You keep looking at your watch. I'm going to keep taking up my 3 minutes. I'm going to sit here and have a stare down if we need to. Laugh it up, because you're going to get slammed with records requests. Mr. Mayor, how much longer I got, sir?
40 minutes.
I'm going to take my 40 seconds. I'm going to slam you guys with records requests. Who's the attorney with? Is that Messer Fort? Because they seem to know me, and I love to cost you guys money and lawyer fees every time they have to review something and send it up to the Attorney General. I'm notorious. You know who I am. Trust me, it's not just the only city I've messed with Messer Fort. Why do you think your records started getting released when I started requesting records? These people don't want to go against me. I will cost you all money. I'll call it cost the taxpayers money. And if I need to, you two will get recalled from office. Do you guys want to do that? Because you're the only two freaking tyrants up here. How much more time I got, Mayor?
10 seconds.
Good. Cohen versus Cohen versus California. That's about protected speech. You need to learn that. Because fuck you, Pro Tem. Thank you.
What's his name? What's his name?
What's that? I'll take my paper back. Write it down.
Matthew Rankin.
Make sure you spell it correctly. And that's HBO Matt, guys.
William.
I think they don't want to be on the bad side of all those records requests that are fixing to show up.
Oh, yeah. Oh, not you guys. The building behind you.
We didn't. I'm gonna go back to holding a sign in a second, but got Otto across the street with a big old thumbs up. That's our thumbs up, anyways. So, I'll take this one. Oh, absolutely, I'll take this one. We're still on the same topic of that auditor, right? Okay, I just want to make sure. How long do I get up for this agenda item? I'm sorry, how long?
3 minutes.
3 minutes? Okay. Just like the lady back there said, she's having issues, you're having issues with communication. It's time to get rid of them. You know, what are they doing? What are they hiding? Why aren't they communicating? Why are you guys signing off on it? We see this all the time with law firms or CPA firms. You know, it's like they're there to protect you. A lot of times they don't even do the work. They just sign off on it, certify it. And I've seen it with certain CPA firms. If they're saying this person is not doing what they're supposed to be doing with any employee, get rid of them. So, I mean, I don't know what else to do. I mean, I would do a motion if I were you, do a motion to change. You seem like you're on board with that, second it, and everybody else gets to vote on it. And unless Mr. Hodge and Mr. Sulak Tavar over here has something to hide, they should go along with it and vote in favor of changing it. If not, we'll know how crooked they really are. And I just want to know if there's any bogus warrants that are going to be put out in my place there. Mr. Hodge, I'll yield my time.
Matthew Rankin. Ron. BZ.
Yep. Of course. Really not much speaking. I just actually want some statement of facts because I don't know much about that bid. Who else bidded?
We had Prime Source, TXD commercial.
Can we get amounts for those as well?
Informal quotes.
Informal quotes. How were they submitted? Via email, in person?
Correct.
Okay. And what were those amounts?
I don't have right in front of it right now.
Okay. So how can you go? So counsel, how can you go ahead and discuss that if you don't even have the information in front of you to make an intelligent decision whether that was the lowest bid or not? You have an informal bid and you don't even have other amounts. I would motion to table this next until you get that information. Outside of that, you're just corrupt if you decide to go ahead and pass it without getting that information. I yield my time. And this is where we have to hit the brakes on the circus for just a minute. Because now, apparently, we have to stop the video, go track down these so-called informal quotes, identify who actually submitted them, and compare them to what the city administrator just said on the record. Because according to what was just stated, we're talking about, quote, supposedly around $100,000, along with specific claims about who the bidders were. But once you start pulling the records and checking the actual facts, well, the story appears to have a little problem, a big problem. So either somebody was seriously misinformed before speaking publicly on the record, or the public was just given information that does not match the underlying quotes. And now we get to the really interesting part. The city ultimately chose roof time. And let me be crystal clear. This next part is my opinion and something I believe deserves further investigation. Based on what I have seen so far, I believe there may be some kind of connection between Robert Hodge and roof time. Now, I'm not presenting that connection as a proven fact at this point. I'm just saying I have questions, and now I intend to start digging. Who recommended roof time? Who contacted them? Who obtained these informal quotes? When were they obtained? Were all of the companies given the same scope of work? What were the actual dollar amounts? And did anybody involved in the decision have a personal, business, political, or other relationship with the company that ultimately got the job? Because when public money is involved, just trust us is not an acceptable answer. So congratulations. What should have been a simple discussion about roof quotes has now turned into another public records investigation. Funny how that keeps happening when people start talking on the record and the paperwork doesn't seem to match the story. All right, let's get back into the circus show.
So things like that can be put into this network?
For someone, well, if I'm sitting here out of the road, I'm on the roadway, is it a crime for someone to swerve the car at me? Okay, I would like to follow a police report on Jimmy Hiles. It's on video. Yep. He just swerved his truck at me. So I'm following the police report. Hey, I'm following the police report. He confirmed it's a crime. I mean, if it's not assault, it's whatever. But he did it, so.
You felt like he was going to.
Yeah, I was like, oh shit. Yeah, like it's on video. So.
Was he in that?
He was in his red truck, his red, I don't know if it's maroon.
That way I can find the list.
Yeah. Oh, he shouted it out loud on the live stream. It's impossible to miss.
Where did he shout out at?
I don't know. We'll have to go back and find it. I don't know.
You can actually pull it up on your
I
phone
can
right
prove
now.
it, is basically what I'm
Otto the
saying.
Watchdog.
Is it on Facebook or
It's on YouTube
It's
right
on
now.
YouTube.
Live. It's live streaming.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. I just need to get a written statement from you.
Cool. You want me to email it to you, or do you need to do it
that's
for me?
fine.
I'll email it to you. Just keep it. I don't want
I
to
know
take you away from this.
you're busy, so.
Yeah, and you know, but that's not fucking cool.
No, I agree with
That's
you.
not fucking cool.
I
And
just arrested you for the exact same thing in McDonald's, so.
wow, it was on camera. It's on live stream. You can go find it without even contacting me.
Ron, you're a trustworthy person.
I know.
so-
I know.
I don't
But
have any doubts that you tell me the truth.
I hear you.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll fill out a complaint for it after I get your written statement, and we'll work on the warrant.
Cool. Can I get your card just so I have your email?
And I don't have cards.
Oh.
I got a business card here.
Oh yeah, I'll send it. Do you want me to email it to you?
I can write down my stuff on here.
I'm gonna work it.
Or no, you're working. You're on duty now.
Yeah, you're on duty. Here, give me your card, bro.
So wait, Columns, you're not on duty?
I'm supposed to get off at 5.
So you're impersonating a police officer?
Supposed to get off at 5.
Just saying. Can I get a criminal complaint for Columns impersonating a police officer, 3rd-degree felony? Let's go.
Do you impersonate whenever you're off duty, or are you always a cop?
No, you're impersonating one if you're off duty.
I think you're on duty, but you haven't clocked out yet, right?
Yeah.
Maybe that's a better way of saying it.
There you go.
Hey, wasn't that a crime right there? You just touched it. Assault on a police officer. On camera,
On
too.
camera.
I'm not offended by it.
Or you can just go with the lesser crime of unwanted touching.
Unwanted contact.
It's only a class C. Just pay your fine in it. You just pay your fine to the court. Just pay your class C citation, buddy.
Perfect. Thank you, dude.
I'll email you a case number.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
So let's recap what we just witnessed inside the Italy City Council meeting. Citizens came into a public building to criticize their government, question how public money was being spent, challenge the conduct of public officials, and exercise the same constitutional rights that every elected official in the room swore an oath to protect. Instead of calmly answering legitimate questions, we watched interruptions, selective enforcements of so-called rules of decorum, officials appearing visibly irritated by criticism, and a government body acting like public participation was an inconvenience instead of the entire reason they were sitting behind that desk. Robert Hodge interrupted a citizen during his allotted speaking time, yet the rules of decorum apparently became much less important when the interruption came from behind the council table. That is exactly the kind of inconsistent enforcement that creates serious concerns about viewpoint discrimination. Then we go to the money. The council was asked basic questions about the companies that supposedly provided informal quotes, how those quotes were submitted, and what the actual amounts were. The city administrator named companies, but could not provide the quote amounts while the council was being asked to make a decision involving taxpayer money. Think about that for a minute. They were prepared to discuss and possibly approve a contractor, but the complete comparison information was not even sitting in front of them. How is the public supposed to know whether the city received the best price? How is the council supposed to make an informed decision? How do we know every contractor received the same scope of work? And why should citizens be expected to accept informal quotes and vague explanations when tens of thousands of dollars in public money are involved? The city ultimately selected Roof Time. I have questions about how that company was chosen, who first contacted it, who recommended it, and whether anyone involved in the decision had any prior personal, political, or business relationship with the company. To be absolutely clear, I'm not claiming that such a connection has already been proven. I am saying the circumstances deserve investigation, and I will be seeking the records necessary to determine exactly what happened. Because this is not Robert Hodge's money. It is not the mayor's money. It is not the city administrator's money. It belongs to the taxpayers of Italy, Texas. And then after the meeting, we witnessed yet another disturbing incident when a citizen reported that a vehicle had allegedly swerved toward him while he was standing near the roadway. The incident was reportedly captured on the live stream and a police report was questioned. So no, this was not just another boring council meeting. This was a perfect example of what happens when a small group of officials becomes too comfortable, too defensive, and too accustomed to operating without serious public scrutiny. They begin confusing public office with personal authority. They begin treating questions like attacks. They begin treating criticism like misconduct. And they begin acting shocked when citizens show up with cameras, record requests, signs, and knowledge of their constitutional rights. Well, they had better get used to it because we're going to request the quotes. We are going to request the emails. We are going to request the text messages. We are going to examine the bidding process, the contractor selection, the relationships involved, and every statement made on the public record. And if the paperwork does not match what was said inside that meeting, the public is going to see it. Now, this is not harassment. This is not intimidation. That's not disrupting government. This is journalism. This is watchdog oversight. And this is accountability. Government officials do not get to demand respect while disrespecting the people who elected them. They do not get to preach about decorum while selectively ignoring misconduct from their own side of the room. And they do not get to hide questionable decisions behind vague answers and informal paperwork. Public service means answering to the public. It means explaining how money was spent. It means tolerating criticism. And it means honoring the Constitution, even when the speech being protected is angry, offensive, embarrassing, or directed straight at you. So to the citizens of Italy, keep asking questions, attend those meetings, record everything, request the documents, read the agendas, follow the money, and stop allowing anyone behind a government desk to convince you that you need their permission to hold them accountable. And to the officials who think the scrutiny is going away, you invited me. You invited the whole thing. Every interruption, every contradiction, every unexplained quote, and every questionable decision creates another reason to dig deeper. This investigation is only the beginning. Smash that like button, share this video everywhere, subscribe to the channel, and help us make sure the citizens of Italy see exactly what their government is doing. Because tyranny thrives in darkness. Corruption depends on silence. And as I always say, sunlight is still the best disinfectant. This is BZ with BZ Watchdog News Network, and I'll see you at the next meeting.
Is the best disinfectant. Sunlight.
BZ Watchdog.
Tyranny, corruption, extortion. Sunlight is the best disinfectant. BZ Watchdog News Network.